Hey guys, in this video we'll be taking a quick look at how to create this transition effect on hover right within Elementor. To get started, I've gone ahead to create two containers with appropriate height set to the top and bottom, just so we have our focus set to the middle, which is where our elements go into. Obviously this should look different in your case, so let's just cut to the chase. Let's click on this to add a new container, and for its structure type we want to go with the direction row, so I'm just going to click on this. And for its content width, we want to leave this set to boxed, and for its width in pixels, I'm going to make this 1320. Next up, we'll have the option to justify content. I'm just going to space that evenly, and for the alignment, I'm going to leave this set to start, and for the gap between elements, I'm going to make this 30 pixels. Moving on, let's add a new container into this column. So I'm just going to head back to the Elements panel and drag a new container into this column. Now, this is where we'd have to put in our image. So I'm just going to head on to its min height and set this to 500 pixels. Now, we'll be using the background image option here, other than having to add in an image element into this column. So I'm just going to head on to Style, Background Type, Classic, and let's choose an image. And I'll just go with the first, Insert Media. I'm going to be leaving the media files in the description, so you can just download that and follow along. Now for its position, we want to set this to top center. Now the reason for this is so our image actually starts from the top and scrolls all the way to the bottom center. Now for its attachment, I'm going to leave that set to default, repeat, no repeat, and for its size, we want to set this to cover. And now we have everything on our image in view. Next up, let's add in a little bit of styling to this, and we can do that by adding a border to our image. So I'm just going to change the border type from none to solid. And for its width, let's make this 10. And for its color, I'm going to make this white because that's complementing to the background image. You might want to use something different in your case. I'm just going to leave that set to white. Okay, now the next thing we want to do is to add in a little bit of shadow to our image. So I'm just going to click on this. Pretty much everything I'm going to leave set to default. I'd want to make this as minimal as possible, so I'm just going to make this 5. Now the next thing I want to do is to duplicate this container 2 more times. So I'm just going to click on this, duplicate, right click on this and duplicate. And let's choose our respective images. So select the second container, head on to Style, choose an image, and let's select this, click on Insert Media, and I would want to repeat the same here. Now the next thing you want to do is to add in your line of code into these containers. So I'm just going to copy this, head on to Advanced. Let's start out with the first. Head on to Advanced, open up Custom CSS and paste that in here. And now if I hover over this, we can see we've got the transition on there. And I can simply repeat that for the other containers. So let's copy this, select the second container, head on to Advanced, open up Custom CSS and paste that in here. So let's say you've got your design all set and done, but feel the image transition is a bit faster than you want. Within this line of code, you can easily achieve a preferred transition by changing the values in seconds. So basically this says it takes 5 seconds to get to the bottom center. Let's say I wanted to make this 10 seconds from the top to bottom center. I just need to specify so in both values. And now if I hover over this image, it takes 10 seconds from the top to get to the bottom. And the same goes from the bottom to its top. And to revert back to 5 seconds, just add in that value and you should be good to go. Also, if you wish to learn how to create this text outline in WordPress, I'll leave a link to that in the description, so feel free to check that out. If you found this video helpful, a like would be much appreciated, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.